everybody. Guess who's with me tonight?
Finally came back home.
Yeah. It has been a year since she has slept under my roof.
Or been in one of your videos.
You never did the videos before. I showed you in one video.
But they could hear me.
Oh, well, that's true. How's everybody doing tonight? Southern Blessed is in here. Built on a Rock Homestead's in here. Papa Z, you better be in here, huh? How's everybody doing? We are exhausted.
Yeah. Definitely took a good
Hey,
nap.
Allie. Good to see you, sweetie. If y'all don't know, this, if you can't tell, this is Kendra. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I was in Huntsville, Texas.
Yep.
For a year now.
Yep. So, why don't you tell everybody how life in Huntsville is?
Exhausting.
Exhausting.
There are a lot of hills in Huntsville.
I
And
can testify to that.
you haven't walked it the way I
Nope.
have.
Sure hadn't.
One of these days, I want to get you to do it.
Nope.
And record you doing it.
Nope. Nobody needs to see me have a heart attack on video.
You won't do that.
So we had a whirlwind trip.
Mhm.
Took Jacob. Hey, Patty. Took my son Jacob, and he and I took turns driving. Papa was with us too, Keith, and we got to your house about what, one Saturday, somewhere in there.
1 o'clock, yeah.
We had stopped at Buc-ee's, and holy crap, I have never seen that many people in Buc-ee's in my entire freaking life. I mean, it was just,
Jacob got to learn why you're not allowed in the store by yourself.
I didn't have a panic attack. I just got us out of there. Not that I wasn't far from it. It was crazy, but apparently it was Sam was having their graduations, and so there was a lot of people coming in and out of Buc-ee's. That's the only thing we can figure. It was
Is Buc-ee's before or after College Station?
we didn't go through College Station. It's kind of even with it. It's just on different roads.
Because it could also have been called all the schools at College Station.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance to go to a Buc-ee's, it is pretty amazing, except when there's 50 million people in there. We picked up some barbecue sandwiches and took to Kendra's, ate lunch. And then Jacob and Kendra packed up her apartment and put it in storage. And hello, Mike, how you doing? Good to see you. And then when Keith and I went back to the hotel and took a nap, or I took a nap. That's why you got young people, because she lives on the second floor.
Not by choice.
Yeah, I know.
It was assigned to me. And you said, hey, do you want to stay at BKV? And
Yeah.
so we have a room. And I said, yes.
What does that stand for?
Bearcat Village.
Yeah. It is a dorm, but it's an apartment. She shares it with another, and they've got a full kitchen and all that kind of fun stuff.
It's an apartment that's owned by the school.
Right. So we went, me and Keith and Jacob went to church at the church I used to work at in Conroe Sunday morning. Kendra couldn't go because her checkout of her dorm was at 11:30, 11:45. So we went to Conroe, ran by HEB.
HEB.
I miss HEB. I do.
You went to the one in Huntsville too.
Yeah, I did. It is, unless it's, I'm telling you, it was like this. There's way too many people for this country girl. Jacob got a good taste of the traffic in Conroe, and he said, well, even in Huntsville, and he said, this is why I live in a rural town. He wasn't excited about that city driving for sure.
Well, it doesn't help. Um, Huntsville is basically built around Sam Houston, so that does not help it because it messes with all the roads.
Yeah, the roads are weird. That's Phil. We had oh, Keith, you're listening. Would you bring me that little ornament, please?
You should be listening.
So we went and met, and I meant to load up the picture, guys. I'm so sorry. I might can make it work on my phone. We'll see. Got to meet up with a couple of my biological cousins. Well, they're like my second cousins, and which was really cool. That's the first time I've got to meet up with anybody from my biological family. If for y'all that don't know, I was born. I was adopted when I was 3,
Lean it forward.
like that. Y'all see it? So that was. We went to the potato shed.
Potato Shack.
Okay, potato shed. It should be shed. That makes more sense to me.
Okay, where'd you put it?
Where did we put? Oh, it's on the little table coming out of the living room. But they made this little Christmas decoration for me that I want to show you guys. So it was a good time.
You never got the information from did you?
No, I'll get the information because this is, I guess, my third cousin makes these, and they're just the neatest little things. Y'all see that? And it's got a little light switch here.
Other way.
There you go, and it lights up. Let me pull it. Is that not the cutest thing ever?
Turn to the other side.
It's, yeah, you can see the. I mean, they're just adorable. So I told her I would promote it, but I'll get the information and I'll share it in a post or something. And but he sells them. He's retiring, and it's just a little. He's got some really elaborate ones apparently. I haven't seen the Facebook page yet, but I will. Hey, Free, good to see you. But I'll get all that information. It's just I thought it was really cool. It was a nice little gift. And then we rushed back from Conroe and had lunch with Kendra's and her best friend since junior high, and her sister. Yeah, it's junior high, 8th grade, wasn't it?
No side.
7th grade.
I think sounds great.
And they've just been like this ever since. So we got to have a quick lunch with them, and then got back on the road about 2, 3. No, we met Rebecca at about 1:30, 1:15. So it's probably about
2:30, I think, because
Yeah.
I had to get back on the road.
yeah
themselves.
2:30, and we had to go back by your storage unit. So it's probably 3 o'clock by the time we got out of Huntsville, and so it was 8 o'clock by the time we got home.
Jacob drove. You want to tell one of those stories?
Y'all want to? Oh my, guys, we had a guardian angel watching over us. My son, who's never really, I don't even know if he's ever even driven on the interstate. God bless him. He's a great driver, don't get me wrong, but he was getting impatient with this guy that was in front of us, and it was in a passing lane. And he speeds up and is doing over 80 miles an hour to get around this guy. But I could see it. There was a car coming that didn't, it was just got about dusk, and he didn't have his headlights on. And I was like, Jacob. I had the, oh crap bar, and my knuckles were white. I mean, literally playing Russian roulette with this car, and barely got back over before that car. And that car wasn't slowing down either. Oh, I really, it took me a minute to calm down. I'm like, what are you doing, son? Trying to kill your mother? But the main reason, hey, our treasure homes, good to see you. We scared the living dog crap out of me. I was just like, he's like, I guess you want to take over. I know. I know, and he didn't do it intentionally. He didn't see the car coming. There was one that was way off, and he thought, "Well, I can beat that one." He didn't because the guy didn't have his headlights on.
And it was tinted windows, black car.
Yeah, so it you didn't see it until he got up, you know.
Technically, I didn't even see it myself.
Yeah. So, in all fairness to him, you know, he didn't do that intentionally. But we made it home.
Look what Patty put.
Exactly, Patty. Exactly. Guys, I thought, bless his heart. And
That
it's,
wasn't the first time, though, he did something like that.
no, he cut one when we were on the highway. He's come over and got it a little too close. And I was just like, honey. But we got home and that's the funny thing. He is a good driver. I mean, I trust him to take my car. I think he was just,
He pushed that car faster than I think
Yeah.
any of us did.
yeah, he pushed it. But, you know, in Texas, speed limit is a suggestion, right?
Or the minimum, depending on who you ask.
Yeah. And so when you're on I-45, you've got to put a little bit of pedal into it or you're going to get blown off the road. So once we got off, besides the one instance after we got off,
Waco.
oh,
You never can go to Waco without something going wrong.
Google got us lost in Waco. Instead of staying on the loop, it took us down through the middle of Waco. So that added probably 30 minutes anyway on our time. I would love to give you a sewing video, except I don't know how to sew. I mean, I know how to sew.
You know more of hand stitching.
Yeah, I'm more of this is my mother's sewing machine that she said that I could use, and I got it out one time and having a hard time getting the bobbin to work right. And so
You'd probably need your own sewing video to watch.
yeah. Oh, I even watched videos and I couldn't figure out she can't figure out how to use that one. That's why it's here. She went and got her was yeah, it's we have that here on our little country road. People will do that. You know, the speed limit on that road is 55. And I usually try to keep it pretty close to that because it's a real windy road. But we'll have people blow past us doing 80 on it. And they'll pass us in no pass zones. And that I don't know how people hadn't been killed out on that road. So we really like I said, that wasn't, you know, his intention, and he wasn't trying just to play chicken with the car. He really didn't see it until, you know, it's too late to do anything. He had to just go and hope for the best. But we got back to Graham. We were going to go grocery shopping. And I said, you know what? I am too exhausted to even think about going into Walmart right now. So we come on. I drove home, and I got us home in one piece. Everybody was worried that I wasn't going to be able to, because I don't drive well at night. But as long as the lines are good on the road, you know, I can see it. And the back road that we take, you don't have just a whole lot of oncoming traffic.
I'm not surprised the speed limit in Florida.
Yeah, the interstate in Texas is 75. I have seen some that are 85, but the average is 75 in Texas,
Well,
and it's a suggestion.
well, people end up going 90.
If you're not going 80, for most people, you ain't going fast enough, especially on the freeway. You're just. I'm comfortable with 75. I don't push it higher than that. But I know a lot of people who do.
I know if you do.
Yeah, that's the thing about Texas. People love their speed here. But so,
You have a question?
I have.
Did we make a video on it?
We did make a video on it.
Yeah, we did. I remember that.
The way I got mine to firm up is I put it in the refrigerator.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, that's what we did.
Yes, we do, Patty. Hey, Kim on Bowles, how are you doing, sweetie? Hadn't seen you in a while. Kendra and I. Well, first, I wanted to interview you a little bit. What have you decided that your major is going to be?
My major is psychology with a minor in criminal justice,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to try to work with mostly children.
Which I think is really a really cool thing. You don't mind me talking about.
You've done it before.
Okay. Some of y'all may or may not know Kendra is very high functioning Asperger's. But when she was a kid, us trying to get any kind of help for her was non-existent because she was so high functioning. They put it back on me, like I was doing something wrong or I was over exaggerating things, or you know.
Did I have teachers ignore my accommodations basically?
Yeah, you had teachers that would ignore her accommodation. She's also dyslexic, like her mama,
with ADHD mixed in.
So I mean, it was really hard though to get any help, any family support, or support for her. She learned how to mimic.
Mm-hmm.
What's called mimicking, where she would tell the therapist or whatever what they wanted to hear, so they would stop playing 20 questions with her because someone with Asperger's does not deal with that well. She had one lady that she worked with that she really liked, and she got Asperger's, but then she moved, and then the next one was awful. And they literally put it back on me that I was just being a helicopter mom and all kinds of stuff like that. But yeah, absolutely it does.
I was in a dyslexia program in junior high, and I was supposed to be in it till my sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
But because I was doing good, they rushed me through it.
Yep. Yeah. That's awesome. I'm just so incredibly proud of her. She has just taken school and ran with it. She struggled a little bit right out of the box, and then COVID happened, but she has just really taken the bull by the horns and just working really hard. And I think when you live with something like she has and dealt with the system like she has and we have, I think that puts you in a better position to be able to help kids that are in the same position as you.
Yeah, because you understand from a point of view.
Right. Yeah. Me too. I was never diagnosed a dyslexic when I was in school. They said I had a learning disability, but they said I had a very high intelligence, so they didn't quite understand why I did things differently, and things were difficult, like math was difficult for me because when they do the intelligent test, I would be like borderline genius, and yeah.
Oh, there's Kendall.
Hey, Kendall.
I was like, I know that's a Discord reaction.
Yeah.
No, yeah, that's Kendall.
It's one of Kendra's good friends. Also been friends since junior high. How you doing, girl? Crazy as ever. Kendra's been telling me all about you and how you're doing. So I don't think I've seen Kendall since your graduation.
No, you haven't.
So
She's still crazy as ever, but that's why we love her.
yeah, absolutely. Kendall's a great young woman. I can't really say kid anymore. None of them are kids. They're all old enough to get in trouble. So
And our bodies are old enough to deal with the pain.
hello, Miss Patty, the Tinker's wife. Right.
As long as I don't start coughing, we should be good.
Yes, right before finals, Kendra got RSV. Kendall, well, it's good to see you, sweet girl. I think Kendall was sick too, wasn't she?
Yeah, she had COVID.
Kendall had COVID, Rebecca had COVID and RSV, and Allison.
Okay, you're less crazy ADHD wise. You're still crazy with everything else, just like me.
Hey,
That's how we are.
exactly. Um,
Kendall had COVID. I had RSV. Rebecca had
COVID and
she
RSV.
had both. Allison just had a stomach bug.
All like the week before finals.
The week or the 2 weeks before.
Yeah. So Kendra, she's asthmatic. Um, Hello, Anne Marie. Sorry, I was trying to get that in. How are you doing, sweetheart? If y'all don't know, if you're just joining, this is my beautiful daughter, Kendra. So, do you know, about when you're going to graduate?
Depending on just how things are, I should be in fall of 2023. Kind of is the time frame.
Okay.
And
yes, please hit those thumbs up. That sure does help me.
You're up to 12 views.
Yeah, got some great friends in here tonight. I love that you guys come hang out with us. Miss, are you going to try to get your master's, you think, or you undecided at this point?
I'm just going to get my degree first.
See where you end up?
And if I go back, then I go back.
Right. Well, that's smart. Smart thing to do. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I wasn't fully recovered when I had to go in to take my finals. I was still dealing with some of the issues. And it was very obvious on who was coughing because I would wear a mask because some of my classes were very, very small.
Yeah. We did take a COVID test when we got back, especially with her. Because tell them what you do for work.
I work at a hotel. It can vary from doing laundry to cleaning rooms to cleaning the front desk area.
So, with my parents and stuff, we wanted to.
There's Jacob.
Hi, Jacob. William Shepard. That's my son, Jacob. You missed it, Jacob. I was telling your driving stories. The little too close for comfort.
Both types.
But I told them that it was almost dusk and you didn't see that car, but it scared the tar out of all of us, didn't it? But anyway,
I was reading a book during that.
Kendra's back there reading. Gotta play chicken? No, son, we really don't. So
don't have to be chaotic neutral all the time.
Right. On a side note, we have about decided that Rex the rooster, he's either got to get rehomed or he's got to end up in a pot somewhere.
No, he has to get rehomed into the pot.
Oh, is that what it is? He has gotten where now he tries to flog me every time I walk into the enclosure. And it's like, if I'm not wearing pants and he gets, like today has been warm enough that I've had shorts on, he gets a hold of me. Woo! Kendall, you want a rooster? Kendra can bring a rooster back for you.
I don't think her mother would be happy with me.
Yeah, I hear you, Kendall.
Yeah, that's where you and I differ. I have to actually take tests.
Now, Kendall, you're an art major. Am I correct on that?
She and Allison are art majors,
Okay. Very talented young woman.
and Rebecca's the engineering major, and I'm the psych major. Feels like a bad bar joke.
Oh, good night, Free. Sorry. You have a great evening, hun. So yeah, it's Kendra and I are going to be working on putting Christmas decorations up this week. And then next week, we are going to be making candy out the wazoo.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're a kitty who decided he wanted, no, she wanted to be a Christmas ornament.
But see, your kitty could eat the rooster.
And that's just one of the animals I remember she has.
I have thought about just letting him out and letting whatever gets him get him. He is just annoying and he's loud. Um, I mean, he's louder than any of the other roosters in the neighborhood. You can hear him a mile away. But that I wouldn't get rid of him for that reason. He's just ornery and mean.
Didn't Papa say just release him in the city?
Yeah. Dad said take him into town and just let him go. I said, I could take him up to the schoolhouse and let him go, and he could chase the kids up there.
I ain't helping you with that plan.
My mom's like, Missy, you're awful.
She was laughing at it too.
Yeah, she was. He's just ornery. Oh my gosh. Dad and I were just talking about that this evening, how more and more coyotes and raccoons and stuff are coming into city dwellings. And did y'all see the video of the lady who a raccoon got a hold of her little girl leg and that mama got it by the scruff of the neck and pulled her daughter away and just chunked him?
Dick. Kendall has 2 cats, 2 dogs, and a chinchilla.
Oh, wow.
I don't think a rooster can mix with that. Especially Rex.
They'd have a good snack. I know I'm awful, but y'all don't know how bad this rooster's. He gets mad, like if, Barbara the rooster. If I pick Barbara up because he's an awesome rooster and he loves me, and I sit and pet him and stuff, once I put Barbara back down, he'll go after him. Like, how dare you let her love on you? He's just a jerk. Hi, Gina. It's great to see you, honey. So, Kendra got to meet the chickens yesterday
Yeah?
and pet Barbara,
And Rex attacked you?
and Rex attacked me.
Did you feed them a pecan today?
Yeah, I fed them a pecan to watch them chase each other around the coop for it. Chickens are entertaining. Got to give them that. So, on a side note, you guys keep Lippy in your prayers. She texted me earlier tonight and said that they probably wouldn't be here because they're in the red bullseye for severe storms tonight. So y'all keep the people of Louisiana in your thoughts and prayers. It come through here probably about 4 a.m.
I'd say 4. That's when Lucky was doing his thing.
They gave us. We were in a
Bye,
tornado.
Kendall.
Bye, Kendall. Take care, sweetheart.
Yeah. The storm came about before.
Yeah, I carried what was it I had? Wall spray that I carried around for a while in the car.
You carried wasp spray.
Yeah,
I don't remember you doing that.
I had an air horn that I carried for a while.
You don't need an air horn.
That's when I was walking to church.
You still don't need an air horn.
It worked. Mm.
You're the last person that needs an air horn.
Yeah, anyway, the storm came through about 4, and it was a little loud for a minute. We were in a tornado watch. I got the alert on my phone saying we were in a tornado watch. Then in Jacksboro, they were having tornado warnings. I haven't heard if there was actually any damage or not, but just about 30 miles east of us was having tornadoes and tornado warnings. Yeah, I'm worried about Sherry too, Allie. Me too. I think they should have sued that doctor for everything she was worth,
Should have.
and the hospital and everybody. Because
Oh, I think Lippy's. That's Lippy.
well, hello, Lippy. Were your ears burning, honey? I just said that everybody be praying for you because of those storms. Have they started hitting yet? I haven't looked at the radar. Oh, excuse me when I get a little water here. Yes, finally got Kendra on camera. Lippy said,
I see.
"Oh." But we were telling our wild adventures home last night. But we made it in one piece. Not last night, not before last one.
But yeah.
You know, it's funny. It's the second day after a big trip like that wipes you out. Kendra and I both got up this morning.
Miss Lippy said they had a tornado hit 1 mile from their house.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Lippy. I'm glad you guys are okay. That's so scary. They're talking next week that the high is going to be 24 with a low of 15. So I got to get out.
Not getting me outside the house.
No, I mean, I'll go out there to check chicken water and that kind of stuff. But other than that, I'm not going out.
I'm not going out to help you do the chicken water.
It was funny because we going. Oh wow. Yeah, I know on that cold. Good Lord, I'm not ready for it. Well, we were driving down to Conroe. It's kind of funny because we hit about any of y'all that are familiar with Texas. We hit Madisonville, and Jacob was like, "Oh!" First, I said, "Yep, there's that humidity. It's like you hit a brick wall of that humidity." And Jacob's like, "Is that what that is?" Yes.
And when I got into the house, I was like, the air is way too thin up here.
Yeah. You know, it's pretty dry. We're right on that line of West Texas, you know, more dry air than a lot of places in Texas for sure. Well, hello, Allison. How are you? Got some great friends in here tonight. But I was glad to get back up here out of that humidity because my hair was like out to here. And that's what Kendra said. She said, for once, my hair's not all poofy. Yeah, me too. What? Oh wow, Lippy. Well, I'm glad you guys are okay. That dang tornadoes. It seems to me, and maybe it seems to me that storms that happen in late fall, early winter, are tornado wise, it are so much worse. Yeah, it is wonderful to have her home. It really is. We've
It starts getting used to just how the air is up here.
mhm.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah.
It's just
You'll adjust about the time it's time to take you back home.
yeah.
So the hotel we stayed in, it was a Super 8 hotel, was phenomenal. It had really clean rooms. The beds were comfortable. The continental breakfast was good.
The beds were high up.
Yeah, I nearly had to get a step stool to get in the beds, but we all slept hard.
Yeah, you slept through a whole
Yeah, they had a bad storm down there, and we all slept through it. We were all exhausted.
except me.
Well, you weren't at the hotel. You were in your.
Yeah, at about 1 a.m. fire alarms started going off. No fire, but just
Yeah, she had marked me. I had my volume down on my phone. She had marked me and said about what one
about one.
that that the lightning had triggered the fire alarms and the car alarms.
I was like, I ain't getting any sleep tonight.
So we, but Jacob was out by probably 8 o'clock, and I was right behind him. I told Keith, I said, I'm going to bed. I don't care if you want to set up. I don't care. I'm going to bed. And I crawled in bed and was out. And the last thing I remember is Keith telling me, "Give me 2 minutes." And I was out. I was out.
The first night I got here, I was out within seconds.
Yeah, it's a fallout. I believe that. Oh, good. What college you going to?
I'm going to Sam Houston State University.
Goodness, I know, poor thing. Um, it is. It's a smaller university, but it's a good one. If you want any kind of psychology or criminal justice degree, it is actually the best place.
It's number 3, I think, last time I checked. Either country or state.
You know, it's number 3 nationally and number
National?
1 in state
Yeah, for CJ.
for criminal justice.
So
A lot of people get psychology degrees that go through there. In fact, we have friends that I think Ashley probably got the same degree
yeah,
you're getting is, and she works with oh CASA or whatever, the kids that are taken out from their parents and stuff. She works with those kiddos.
Jacob has to go.
Love you, baby boy. We will talk soon. Message me and let me know what happened.
Yeah, you have to tell us what happened.
She is doing so good. Keith and I are so extremely proud of her and the just what she's accomplished. I mean, she has a part time job working at the hotel at the school, and then going to school full time, and just
Those 6 a.m. shifts are good though.
yeah. Um, Sometimes she has to go in early to set up the kitchen,
The dining area.
the dining area for people who are eating breakfast and that kind of stuff. So she don't like those calls. I don't like her having those because she's on foot. She doesn't have a car, so she has to walk to work when it's still dark. And oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's I asked Kendra what RAs.
RAs.
if she want to do that, and she's like, no, because you're responsible for everybody. I have no desire.
And I don't want to deal with stupid college students' mistakes.
Yeah.
I think that's the nicest way I can put it.
Yeah, because if the people in their apartments get too loud, the RAs have to go knock on the door. And wasn't this semester, it was last semester, you had a really loud drunk guy that lived on top of you, right?
Random evil laughing at the most oddest times. And literally, evil laughing is the best way I could put it. That's what it sounded
Just-
like.
I heard him one night on Marco.
It was like an evil cackle.
Oh, good night, Allie. It's great to see you too, honey. I mean, just weird. Exactly. Hey, Pathways Homestead. How are you tonight? Oh, okay. Yeah, I I don't think I'd like that job either. Rebecca, she is works as a tutor,
A math tutor.
a math tutor. You got to take a math anytime soon?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, that'd be good.
I took a
That wouldn't be my fun subject. We I'm not the best. I took some math in college, and that was kind of the nail in the coffin for me for college. I couldn't do it. Just doesn't it doesn't make sense in my head. I mean, basic math I'm fine with. I'm not. It's when you're talking algebra and geometry and statistics. Yeah, Lippy, she's just getting over RSV.
yeah. I got past the contagious point. Now just the cough is all that's left.
She kind of has a seasonal asthma.
So when I get a cough,
It lingers.
I'm saying this will stay about March.
Probably.
That's usually what happens.
When we got COVID, when before COVID was even a thing, that January, you had that cough probably for 6 months.
If not more.
It it just it just lingers with her. I tried to get her to drink some honey whiskey last night, and she turned me down.
You got me to try wine, but
Yeah.
technically that was Allison that got me to try it.
So, telling you, a little bit of that whiskey cures what ails you. Okay, Mike, you have a great night, hon. So anyway, that's today. We have pretty much slept most of the day,
At least I have.
and she fell back to sleep. Then I got sleepy, and I just laid back in my recliner and put my little blanket over me, and I woke up right before noon. Got up and fixed some chicken and dumplings because that was one of her requests, and she'd been hungry for my chicken and dumplings.
Yeah, Jen doesn't do it justice.
Mm-mm. So I made that for lunch, and then I agree. I've got some Fireball too. I tried to get her just to drink a little cap of that today. Fireball, it's really good. Fireball is also really good mixed in like apple cider or wassail. But yes, 100% agree. And you just taste the cinnamon, and you like cinnamon.
I like cinnamon in my coffee.
You can put Fireball in your coffee. Yep, sure does, Lippy. I agree. But here's the kicker: she doesn't like mint, any kind of mint. She had a hard time finding a toothpaste that she could even tolerate because all toothpaste are mint flavored. Yeah, codeine's really good for that too. Um, my little granddad, the one we live in their house, he used to make hot toddies, with a little bit of whiskey and honey and lemon. And he said that would cure anything. In fact, right after he died, the one thing we found in the cabinets is he had a bottle of whiskey up there, and he wasn't a drunk or anything, but he used things like that for medicinal purposes. In fact, he used to get,
Read what Gina put.
huh?
Read what Gina put.
I may drink some with you in a little bit, but he used to take a stinging nettle and rub it over his knees because he had real arthritic knees. And he swore that was the best thing in the world was that stinging nettle. But he very much believed in herbal remedies and home remedies on stuff like that. And he drank a shot of apple cider vinegar every day. I mean, we laughed and joked and said he lived so long. He was 94 when he passed away,
94 and 95.
somewhere in there. And we said he was pickled because he had drank that apple cider vinegar his whole life. Oh, welcome back, hun. Good to have you. So now Kendra is showing interest in learning herbal medicine and stuff. So we're gonna be digging out my herb books, um, and looking at them.
Yeah.
Because I think it's skills that we all need, and I just I want to do more. I want to grow a whole lot more herbs next year than I did this year. I'm fixing to get some calendula soaking and some
That's what you wanted me to remind you of doing.
yeah, and some mullein, and I want to make some mullein tinctures. So I've got the stuff to do it. I've just got to sit down and do it.
And mine is I want to learn a lot about teas.
Herbal teas. Yeah, I mean, I just I think you can do better than conventional. And not saying that sometimes you need conventional medicine, absolutely. I mean, but you know, who was it? Cody Mack that was talking about what all this medication shortage. What are some of the home remedies if you couldn't get your medication, whatever you took? What could you try to supplement it with? And to me, that's very fascinating and to look at. I mean, like cayenne pepper is good for like your blood pressure and that kind of stuff. So I just think anything like that you can figure out how to do, it's very, very well worth it.
Lavender is good for sleep.
Absolutely.
Because I have a tea that I take 2 sips of it and I go to sleep.
Yep. I got some echinacea. I love drinking echinacea tea. It's one of my favorite teas that I have. Um, oh, candy pecan video. Yes, I love some pecan. I would put pecan in every single thing
Yeah, and I got sick of it.
and I don't know how. At least Jacob loves pecans.
I like pecans. Except when it's in every single food you make.
Right, Lippy. I agree. You really can. I mean, I've got several good books, and I'm always open and looking for new books. Right, because how did we live before pharmaceuticals? You know, our ancestors did something, just like my little granddad, the apple cider vinegar and
Check.
oh, Allison, thank you, sweetheart. We appreciate that.
Yes.
We'll help her get her back to college. But we appreciate that so much. You're so sweet. Um, yeah, I bet you're ready to get that phone, Lippy. I don't blame you.
And to be fair, I nearly did tell a friend to buy me some whiskey when I was dealing with the RSV.
Yeah, yeah. I need to look into her because I've heard of her. I've seen her channel. Just haven't sat down and watched any videos. Let's see.
That's good.
That's awesome. You know that, and I think that's a lot of. I mean, being as active as you can. I know just the weight loss that I had. I used to take about $10,000 worth of medicine a month. I mean, I didn't pay that; the insurance paid it. But one of the medicines that
Yeah,
I
you could.
took was stupid expensive, and the sad thing was I didn't even need it. Come to find out, but once I lost weight, I got off 99% of my medications. Now I take more herbal supplements than anything else,
And
and vitamins.
for me, I mostly take vitamins, um, the elderberry to try to keep my immune system boosted.
Yeah, I take zinc and vitamin C and vitamin D. Which when I had the gastric sleeve, they told me I would have to be on vitamin supplements the rest of my life because you cannot get enough nutrition from food once you have that surgery. So that's why I take a cup full feels like of vitamins and that kind of stuff. I am but I'm wanting to grow a lot of the herbal stuff that I take. That's a big goal for me in my garden next year is really the way I'm going to set it up. I'm planning to put stuff that around the chicken coop that if it needs to vine up, like beans and that kind of stuff, um, and just put grow bags all the way around my chicken coop. By the way, we did get the tin under the chicken coop, and we've had no more problems with things trying to dig. So,
Including chickens.
including chickens.
Gina has to leave.
Okay, honey, you stay safe. God bless you. Love you, friend. Oh, that's yeah, that garlic eating that garlic like that is awesome. Do you do the one where you ferment in honey, the garlic?
Didn't we try to make that and then we just kept forgetting about it?
Yeah, it was way over fermented, I think.
I think it's just because we kept forgetting.
I forgot it was up in the. Oh, that's really cool, Patty. See, I want to do all that. My biggest issue right now, to be completely honest with you, is inflammation. My, of course, I've got the fake knee. Yeah. Um, and I need to do more of that garlic. I really am got to get that stuff going, especially now, in the cooler season and get it up. I'm going to be making some homemade vanilla to give for Christmas gifts and that kind of stuff. When we were in Conroe, the new HEB there, we got the new one, is just the latest one built in Conroe, but they have the bulk seasonings and you can buy the vanilla beans. And so they only had two left, so I got two of them, and it's at least enough to get her started on a small bottle of vanilla. I hope my mom's not watching. uh, but anyway, it's just anything you can do like that. I think you're better off. But yeah, I just have been dealing with so much inflammation, arthritis in my hands. It's getting hard to crochet for long periods of time. Well, hello, Dana Grandma. How are you doing, sweetheart? It's so good to see you. Um, but I just I love it, and I love doing it. And I think I'm inspired, being in my grandparents' house to really look at stuff like that and doing stuff like that. Gr- oh,
And
go ahead.
for me, a lot of it is I just have regular joint pain, and most over the counter stuff does not work for me anymore just because I've taken it
Well,
a lot.
Go ahead.
And we have a tendency to adapt to medicine fairly quickly.
Yeah, my son's the same way. But I did learn. Um, Amen to that. He's better to all of us, isn't he? Thank goodness he doesn't give us what we deserve.
For some people.
Yeah, they do, Lippy. And I've got a book in there. It's the inflammation diet that I need to really dig into too. But also, when I was visiting with my cousins the other night, they were telling me that this degenerative joint disease, basically, is what it is, runs in our family. So it's a very hereditary thing. I deal with it. I have lived with pain since I was a kid. I mean, even when I was little bitty, I can remember. Y'all remember Orbing Jr.? Daddy rubbing that into my legs because my legs hurt so bad, and they kept saying, "Well, it was growing pains," except it never went away.
And
And
I was having a lot of knee issues when I was younger.
ankles.
We ankles was after I twisted it really bad.
Kind of.
It it started wrapping up after that, but mostly mine was my knee. We even went to a doctor. They did an X-ray and like your knees look. If I remember correct, they said it looked how it should.
Yeah, it looks fine. But of course, an X-ray can't measure inflammation either. So you know, that saying that, Lippy, we're not eating a lot of beef lately. It's too expensive. We really eat a lot of chicken. Um,
Um, for me, I'm mostly 95% of it is either pork or fish. Really,
yeah,
from when I get at the school, I don't eat that much
beef.
beef, and if I do, it's like once in a blue moon.
Yeah. I mean, when you can't hardly afford a package of hamburger meat, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I just, I was talking to my folks about that too. They're not eating that much beef anymore. And if we could, we've even talked about getting a cow just to grow out so we could have our own beef and know what it ate and, that kind of stuff. I think that'd be cool. I don't know if we'll ever get it done, but our neighbor is growing out three
No.
cows right now.
Not with Dad's opinion on it.
Well, it would probably be me and Papa doing it. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I've got chicken in the freezer. I need to do that with, and get some canned up. And it's good that when you can chicken like that, it's really good for dumplings and stuff like that. So, but we're getting ready for Christmas and just spending time together. Kendra and I are going to be making a ton of candy, and I'm going to be making gift boxes for the neighbors. And Kendra's going to help me deliver it. I love being here in the country where, in Conroe, as much as you wanted to be friendly to neighbors and stuff, it was hard to do sometimes. It wasn't that I wasn't friendly. It was just people didn't want to get to know you. People didn't care who you were. And it's just kind of city life. Out here, people are just nice. They're nice to each other.
And even on the college campus, it was a lot better
Yeah.
than Conroe.
I will say that about Huntsville. They've got some of the nicest, well mannered kids, young adults on that campus. and they all look out for each other. They had an incident back early in the fall where there was um,
They're not nice people.
very not nice people that were making threats that they were going to come shoot every black person on campus that they could find. And there were a lot of the white kids told, the black kids, hey, if you need somebody to walk with, a ride anywhere, let us know. We got your back. We're not going to let this. And it wasn't people that were students, as far as they know.
As far as we know, it was outside campus population.
Yeah. And they really just stuck together and said, we're not okay with this.
And in my psych class, all of us would question our teacher because he was the head of a psychology faculty. And if anyone knew anything, it was him. And
he didn't know a lot. Yeah. They weren't telling them much except, don't walk alone. Don't always have a buddy with you. And but last they heard, they got one of them, arrested one of them.
And they had a few suspects, but just didn't have much evidence.
And they think it was potentially tied, I guess was the right word.
Potentially.
With the KKK. So, it's awful that stuff like that exists. But I was very proud of the student body at Sam Houston who said, we're not okay with this. And, if you need to, telling the African American community, if you need to ride somewhere, you need somebody to walk with, please let us know. You're not out here alone. And I thought that was just very, our kids, we often give Gen Zs a hard time, but they really did come together and say, no, we're not okay with this. And we're not going to let this happen on our campus. So.
And I would have to say that there is a strong community, because many times,
amen, Lippy.
Yes, there'd be times where I would get to the library to set up to study, but I would have to run off to do something that I couldn't quickly pack up my bag, and I knew I'd be back. I would just ask someone, hey, you just keep an eye on my stuff. I'm going to be right back.
I mean, we're talking about her laptop and tablet.
Very easy to pick up, run away, and
they're like, of course, we'll watch it, and she never even had to worry that they would be dishonest about it. And I just love that. I love, young people.
Or you would end up taking a nap in one of the booths we had for the library, and you never worried about anything happening to you necessarily or your stuff, because you knew you had someone watching you.
Yeah.
Kind of keeping their eye on you.
I've been really impressed with this school from day one. They go out of their way to help their students. They want their students to succeed, where some schools, Texas A&M, could care less if you passed or not.
They make freshman year their hardest.
They try to fill out their freshmen, where Sam will do everything in their power to keep those kids in school and make sure they succeed. I was just thoroughly impressed with Sam Houston. So, oh gosh, it is 7:00, guys. I don't want to keep on anymore. You guys that have dealt with the storms, Lippy, I'm glad you are safe. If you're in the path of any of these storms, please stay safe. It's scary. Those tornadoes aren't nothing to mess with. But thank you for joining us tonight. Hey, I am knocking on the door of 3,000. Please share my content out. I'd love to hit it by the end of the year. So, don't worry about it, Lippy. We love you, and I'm glad you guys are okay. We will see y'all next Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you up to everything that's been going on around here. And we love you.
Try to hit 3,000 lines here, so she has to deal with me during that big live.
Exactly. Love you guys. Good night, all. We will see y'all in the next video. Hit the red button.